you know, trying to say it came from here and there, and you over there, even if it was or it wasn't, or you made something like that, and you bringing that into our country, or somehow you send it leak across the globe, you should be tried for treason. You should be put on the Hague. You should be put on all types of charges right about now. And the number one would be crimes against humanity to begin with. Treason, espionage, and all that other stuff should be on the Demon Democrats, anti-punk fascist, killing weasel, and the whole souls, Little Gold Gates, and all of those people should be locked up in jail right now because the game that you played to get the people to do this and do that, you know what I'm saying, shows, you know what I'm saying, that whatever government inside our government and whatever bullshit you're doing, you know what I'm saying, it always seems to eject onto the people. Now, the people don't need to be in no mix up like that and then not sure is 50 different stories, 100 million different mind frames. You know, some people say it was even coming through the vents of your car. You know what I'm saying? And all types of different ideology or stories on what really took place or what really is or isn't. And then at the same time, the only other course of action is they ran and did that. Did not take time, like I said, to investigate anything at all. They just figured this out. I don't know. It's true. Maybe do. Maybe not. Maybe it is. Maybe not. You know, the best thing I could do is go over there and get that. And then when you look at Biden, what Biden was saying during the time of that, even Cuomo and Kathy Hochul and them threatening the people if they don't do it, you know what I'm saying, they're going to do this. And then he put it on the police department, the fire department, and even tried to get the whole military to do it. And then when they wouldn't do it, you fired them. Imagine that. Civil workers, workers that you need in crisis and times of danger, health, and all types of stuff. You sit there and use that field. And then when we say civil workers, we're not just talking about police, fire department, military. So we're talking about even the people inside the hospital. Even the people inside the hospital. You use all these different workers and even made them probably take it if they did or did, I don't know. But even made them take it all the way to our hospitals, our police department, our fire department, and every single worker you need in a time of emergency to take it, then you are trying to weaken and have probably weakened our country more than we know. You know what I'm saying? So, and even try to do it to the young people, you know what I'm saying? Teachers, mentally disabled, you know what I'm saying, challenged or whatever, and many others. You did this shit too. Even people with underlying conditions. I mean, what is wrong with people in America where you have to go down a road without proper knowledge or investigation of anything at all and be hurdled by a government threatening the people and using the very people needs as their chain around their neck in order to drive them where you want them to go. Because basically that's what they did. You know what I'm saying? They use your needs as your prison or as your, what's the right word for it? You know what I'm saying? They use your needs as a will to enslave you and make you do what they want you to do. You know what I'm saying? Without proper investigation or anything. And then at the same time using and going right past the constitutional rights and laws, you know what I'm saying, forcing this scheme through as fast as they could to hurdle the people into thinking that if they don't do it, they'll be in trouble. and you're going to jail and so on and so on. Then when that didn't work, like I said before, they use, if you want to go to work because we regulate the federal government and the federal government, the businesses are hooked or whatever. If you want to go back and get your job, you're gonna have to do it. You know what I'm saying? So the whole program still showed the schematical bullshit. You know what I mean? And it still needs to be and kept on properly being investigated down to the letter. But we know full well the corruption and the schemes run deep. Just because somebody play like they do, they're helping out and investigating and all this information, the damage is already done. You know what I'm saying? And many people drop like flies, but at the same time, they put them to sleep just like a dog. But you know what I'm saying? At the same time, you know what I'm saying? You ran it. You ran it. That's the point. You know what I'm saying? And that should not be as to what should have happened in this situation without any proper investigation. You know what I'm saying? Even in the making of the substance in itself was made in no time. So that means that they rushed it through using that schematical garbage they chumped up over there, you know what I'm saying, and rushed it, but already had it. So that means they were already prepared years ago. Since we like to talk about, 2023, and who gives a shit, you know what I'm saying? But when we look at the whole making of the juice itself, they had to have had that already. This was not something that they just made within 2 or 3 or 4 weeks or a month during the pandemic. They had to have it stored, made, stored, and boxed up already. You know what I'm saying? Waiting for the schematical vibe to drop perfectly as the way Fauci set it up and all of them set it up. You know what I'm saying? So now they set it up nicely to where the point they saying that this. But if that's the case, why isn't the penalty of law extend to the virology lab? And who now scientists and who all was involved, you know what I'm saying, and their negligence. So now you're gonna say it's a leak. So now they don't have to hold up on no negligence of a leak. But how did a leak occur if that's the case? And why nobody's responsible under that type of scientific madness, garbage that they were doing? You saying there was a leak on that? There was not to me. To me, it was just used as a schematical vibe, you know what I'm saying, for 5G to run it all across, signifies signal at the same time all across the globe. That's why they kept saying global. You know what I'm saying? It's their New World Order piece of shit, probably Albert Pike garbage. Let's just be frank. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that shit is that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But now we moving on to the news because, you know what I'm saying, we could toss that around all day long. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to keep the people informed on this matter at all times. You know what I'm saying? But we even see here now that we get into the political news, you know what I'm saying? We see this coming in by Ed uh, Mazar, you know what I'm saying? 21 hours ago, Eastern Standard Time, coming off the Huff Post. We see former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, Republican, sometimes he reminds me of a Democrat, is firing at Donald J. Trump after the former president, after Buck Farmer, after the president of the United States, saying, attack him again over his weight. Well, yes, because it looked like the pastrami is coming out of his neck, and he's not thinking straight. Chris Christie, he's eating right now. He can't be bothered, Trump said during a rally in New Hampshire on Tuesday. Then he pointed into a laughing crowd. Sir, please don't call him a fat pig. You know what I'm saying? And so on and so on. Chris Christie isn't quite about with that one, as we see. But that's Chris Christie's point, and I think he should be concentrating, like you said, on the facts and what really needs to be the matter of the issue to protect the people in all ways and bring that real good government to the people. You busy worrying up there taking shots at Trump and you're a Republican. You know what I'm saying? You should be trying to speak for yourself in all ways instead of worrying about him. You know what I'm saying? But we see where layoff at the Justice Department shake progressives. You know what I'm saying? From what we seen, you know what I mean? From what we seen, this is coming in by Hannah, Trudeau. You know what I'm saying? The Hill, 23 hours ago, Eastern Standard Time. DC News now. You know what I'm saying? But we see here where large scale, um, large scale layoff at the top, left wing organizations are, underscoring the progressive challenge in the creepy Biden era, with major figures becoming, dissident, despondent about what, what I'm saying, the future of their movement could look like. The Justice Department, I mean, when we see the Justice Demon Democrats, the upstart turn powerhouse group that helped, what I'm saying, insurgents win seats in Congress, recently made significant, operational changes and cuts to the workforce, prompting, a debate among the left side, the leftists, or whatever left nuts you ask me, about about the tactical hurdles to carrying out their vision. You know what I'm saying? They reshuffled, came amid signs of the movement is not as energized as it was even several years ago. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, because you know what I'm saying they were working on that plan of the holy Luciferian empire, probably as demon Democrats across the spectrum speaks to a coalesce around creepy ass uh, Joe Biden, ahead of the possible rematch against, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. You know what I'm saying? But we don't give two flying fuck about none of y'all when it comes to this at all, because when it comes down to a Republican or Democrat, they still come out to the same shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's not showing no results based on what we should really be focusing on. You know what I'm saying? But we see Jack Smith, you know what I'm saying? Jack Smith just gave President Trump, subpoena power, and they're saying what would Trump do with the subpoena power? You know what I'm saying? From what we've seen, but we see, in more ways than one, Jack Smith dropping that. You know what I'm saying? But we see where, you know, Genevieve, whatever his name is, and I guess his name is Tusins or whatever, there's more than enough evidence to indict creepy Joe Biden, you know what I'm saying, in more ways than one on that post, you know what I'm saying? But if they just handed him subpoena power. So Trump, what would you saying? What would Trump do with it? Well, maybe he knows best as to what he will do. That's his thing. We see Eileen Cannon orders in Trump cases could lead to her recusal. You know what I'm saying? Lawyers. This is coming in by Nick. I'm not saying your last name, it's too long. They're coming in by Nick, you know what I'm saying, on the 8 9 23 at 1:49 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? Coming off the Newsweek 30 or the Newsweek 90, whatever it is, Newsweek. But the district court judge Eileen Cannon recently ordered involving criminal defense associated with the President of the United States classified documents case Indictments may result in her ultimate recusal, or whatever you call it. You know what I'm saying? According to the former Assistant U.S. Attorney Andrew Weissman. You know what I'm saying? Wiseman, or Weissman, whatever his name is. On Monday, Cannon submitted a court order requesting the President of the United States aid Walt uh, to present evidence relating to the Department of Justice Special Counsel Jack Smith request to have an out of state jury. The Washington, D.C. based grand jury has overseen the case since in its inception. You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one. You know what I mean? But we see where Newt, or whatever his name is, not or whatever his name, Nuta, whatever his name, Nuta, or whatever his name is, and Mar-a-Lago property manager Carlos de Oliveira, were both charged in the document cases who are allegedly attempting to obstruct government attempts to retrieve material from Trump's home. Yeah, documents that belongs to Trump, probably. You're full of shit. Why do you want to hear that dumb ass shit? Why would you arrest those two men for that? That don't even sound right. We see even Russia explosion video shows colossal mushroom cloud, you know what I'm saying, near Moscow. You know what I'm saying? As we see the man who posted threats towards creepy Joe Biden, you know what I'm saying, was killed during the FBI raid. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to know too much about that. But we see the former federal judge, you know what I'm saying, Trump now, and even Trump now, an even greater danger to America, the mockery. I don't know why you keep saying this, the mockery bullshit that you keep bringing up, but this is coming in by Nick Robinson 17 hours ago. You know what I'm saying? Robinson, you know what I'm saying? 17 hours ago, Eastern Standard Time, coming off the hill. You know what I'm saying? But we see the former judge, you know what I'm saying, from what we see in here, we see um, we see the former Judge Michael Lutin, you know what I'm saying, doubled down Wednesday on previous comments about uh, President Trump vividly, who he said now poses even a greater danger to the U.S. than when Luton testified to the House January 6th Lioness Committee, along with Luton Lioness as well last year. More so today than he was last summer when when I testified before the Congress. You testified before a group of lying motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you're talking about. Luton said in a CNN interview, yeah, CNN, he said Trump outgoing false claim about winning the 2020 election. And wait, first of all, back up, Mr. Luton Nut. You know what I'm saying? When did you prove it was a false claim? You keep running this bullshit about a false claim, but you never proved it. And you still didn't prove it to me. You know what I'm saying? And I bet you didn't prove it to a whole bunch of Americans. You know what I'm saying? But you keep running the word insurrection, attack, and false claim. You know what I'm saying? Talking about false claim on the 2020 election and being persecuted by the Justice Department have hurt the country. You know what have hurt the country is a demon, democratical, Luciferian, pandemic, Luciferian Baphomet scheme. That's what really hurt the country. You know what I'm saying? Along with the demon Democrats doing garbage for 40 something, 50 years or more in our country, leading to all kinds of nonsense that we have seen, even with foreign countries and them being involved in our country as a whole. You know what I'm saying? That y'all motherfuckers let in. You know what I'm saying? By sneaking them in the back door and open border policy and all kind of garbage that y'all talk. You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one. So I don't know what you're talking about it hurt the country. You know what I'm saying? He said Trump ongoing false, yeah, you're all false lying ass. You know what I'm saying? And being persecuted, you by the Justice Department hurt the country. Yeah, rate that and that. The Republicans who have backed the president of the United States also is responsible. No, no, no. See what I told you about demon Democrats? They know how to switch shit around and put the blame on you when the whole entire time is their asses doing this evil worship bullshit to the United States in all ways. You know what I'm saying? Because Trump may have warped speed the program, but he damn sure didn't want to have it done at all. You know what I'm saying? If we leave it up to him, it would not have happened, and would we have been able to prove then what was really going on? But Mr. Luton Nut goes on to say that for the 2.5 years since the January 6th Luciferian Baphomet 6, these January 6th, these false claims have you know corrupted America democracy. I mean democracy. They've corrupted America's, election. No, they have not. Everything this man is saying, he's word playing and motherfucking lying. He's word playing. You know what I'm saying? Trying to put the blame on the Republicans and Trump. The same old bullshit tonight. Nobody wants to hear Mr. Luton. What your name is, Luton Nut. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever it says. You know what I'm saying? Talking that bull crap. You know what I'm saying? Americans are about to have to pay much, about to have a much harder time paying their bills. Oh yeah, while looting nut and the rest of them blame Trump and fuck up the country and then try to blame someone else for it. Oh yeah, deflate the economy. But we see a subpoena from Elena Trump's private emails by Manhattan DA blocked by judge. Yeah, and that sounds about right. Block his ass because he sounds stupid trying to pull Melania Trump into it. Don't make no fucking sense. What good that anything they're doing to Trump right now is good for the country. You talking about Trump, you know what I'm saying? But what you have done, you know what I'm saying, in itself, in the garbage that we've seen going after Trump and all kinds of now talk and all types of other shit, board and all types of shit, and you got the nerve to blame Trump? Yeah, the demon Democrats is real good with placing blame on other people when they're the one who's causing all the pain.